Some came with sledgehammers, some just with their bare hands. On the night of November 9th, 1989, jubilant crowds began tearing down the Berlin Wall, an infamous barrier dividing families, a city, a nation. Even as we celebrate that iconic moment, the moral meaning of the Berlin Wall is little understood. The Berlin Wall was built and murderously enforced in the name of a profoundly destructive political idea, a political idea which alarmingly many people today are embracing. Flash back to the years after World War II and recall that Germany was divided into two states. West Germany developed into a free society. East Germany faithfully implemented socialism. And divided between them was the city of Berlin. Between 1949 and 1961, an estimated 2.6 million people fled East Germany. Why? Life in the socialist utopia of East Germany was a waking nightmare. From cradle to grave, the regime indoctrinated subjects with the socialist ideal that the individual exists to serve the collective. Socialist economic planning was supposed to outperform the free market, but while West Germany became an economic powerhouse, East Germany struggled to produce even the most basic consumer goods. And whether you needed spare parts, industrial goods, food, or luxuries, almost everything was becoming more difficult to get. The state exerted control over industry, agriculture, the whole economy. It controlled the press, and it deployed a fearsome secret police, the Stasi, along with a vast surveillance network to ensure obedience. People fled East Germany for the prospect of a better life for their children, for the freedom to decide their own path. This exodus was in part a brain drain. Between 1954 and 1960 alone, the exodus included more than 4,000 doctors and dentists, more than 15,000 engineers and technicians, more than 700 professors, more than 15,000 other teachers, and many, many more. The appeal of life in the free West was magnetic. For East Germany, this hemorrhaging of talent and manpower was a crisis. The collective needed to herd young men into the military. It needed able-bodied people to toil in fields and factories, and it needed doctors for its so-called free medical care for all system. Merely letting people cross the border to visit the West meant they'd be exposed to ideas and books and films by the way of life of a free society. So, the East German regime turned its population into inmates of a prison state. On August 13, 1961, it began building the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall was a formidable barrier of about 12 feet high. It was paralleled by barbed wire security fence. And between these two barriers, there was a no man's land. This so-called death strip was punctuated in places with landmines, carpeted with hidden steel spikes, and anti-vehicle obstacles. Armed guards were stationed at watchtowers at regular intervals along the length of the wall. Their orders: shoot to kill. The rationale for building the wall flowed directly from East Germany's collectivist ideal. This ideal says that we are each our brother's keeper, that each individual has a moral duty to serve the public good, that the individual's life and work belong to society. Politically, this means that the state, the voice of the collective, owns the lives of individuals. Thus, the East German state was entitled to decide the career, life, future of its inmate subjects. Forbidden to leave, they were compelled to sacrifice their personal goals and future for the sake of socialism. The needs of the collective were paramount. What about the irreplaceable lives of particular individuals? Dispensable. Trying to escape meant risking your life. Even so, more than 100,000 East Germans tried to flee. Early on, some got out through the sewer system until the regime blocked those routes. Several swam across a river, bullets flying after them. Some people spent months secretly digging tunnels under the wall. Through a single tunnel, one of about 70 that are known about, 57 individuals managed to escape moments before East German police discovered it. For anyone caught trying to escape, the Stasi, the secret police, lay in wait. It arrested thousands of people. It brutally interrogated them so it could fortify the wall against future escapees, and it imprisoned people. The Stasi also went after anyone who helped in an attempted escape. The regime's contempt for human life was writ large in the fate of Peter Fechter, a mere 18 years old. On August 17, 1962, while trying to get over the wall, Fechter was gunned down. East German guards left him on the ground, badly injured, screaming in agony. In full view of the guards and on the West German side, reporters and outraged onlookers, Fechter bled to death. At least 139 other individuals, perhaps as many as 600, died trying to escape. Many were in their 30s, 20s, younger, with their whole lives ahead of them. To the East German regime, however, their lives were cheap. They were necessary sacrifices for the sake of the collective. In today's America, there are voices advocating for the same idea that animated the East German regime. We're told that this idea can be detached from authoritarian practice. Elsewhere on the political landscape, there's a surge of nationalist, racial, tribal identity, notably among white supremacists. The commonality among these is collectivism. The subordination of the individual to some collective, class, nation, race, tribe. But collectivism is an evil idea. Just as it did in East Germany, so everywhere, this evil idea denies the individual's sovereignty over his or her own life. Just as it did at the Berlin Wall, so everywhere, it invites authoritarians and it arms them. Let's take seriously the moral meaning of the Berlin Wall by fully understanding and then eradicating the idea it embodied.